Blame Truth here, and yesterday I posted a video talking about how I just have a bad feeling about Black Ops 6. And in this particular video, I kept calling it Black Ops 4 as well. I apologize, guys. There's so many fucking Black Ops games. There's so many Call of Duty games in general. It's hard to keep up now. And in my head, it's still Black Ops Gulf War. So there's that. But I talked about having just a bad feeling about the game. Shortly after that video was made, and I made it a few days before I posted it, but shortly after that was made, I actually got an interesting DM that kind of just solidified every single thing I was feeling. Guys, I don't know if I'm a fucking soothsayer. I don't know if I am just psychic. I don't know, man. I have called pretty much everything with Call of Duty correctly. Sad to say, because it's mostly been negative, but I've called it all pretty much correctly since I came back to YouTube in 2019. Guys, let's just get right on into the meat and potatoes here, because I can't name this person, but they are very, very reputable. And I think you will see as time goes on that what they're saying is actually the truth. And I think you're going to see as time goes on that what I've been saying, just my hunches, were actually correct or are going to be correct. Black Ops 6 is going to be bad. I'm 99% certain it is not going to be a good game. And I want to share some stuff that was just kind of shared with me confidentially in a DM. And I do have permission to share this. And I'll get to it after a brief word from Private Internet Access VPN. Cheaters and matchmaking manipulation are flat out ruining every single multiplayer game with skill-based matchmaking. If you get too good, you're going to run into oppressive skill-based matchmaking and cheaters in the higher tier skilled lobbies. There is a solution to this though, and it's Private Internet Access VPN. I can change my geographical location, which fools the skill-based matchmaking, fools the server selection, and gets me easier lobbies, as well as avoids the cheaters in the higher skill brackets. Just use Private Internet Access's easy-to-use software to switch your server location, and you are good to go to trounce noobs and avoid the cheating epidemic that is plaguing Call of Duty right now. You can also avoid DDoS attacks, which that's something I've had to deal with a couple of times in my FPS and streaming career. Also, guys, Call of Duty has been known to falsely ban people, and a VPN can help circumvent that very easily. It's time to get a VPN. Like, if you're a gamer, it's time to get one. Not only is PIA VPN great for just helping my online multiplayer gaming career, but it's great for just security on the web when I'm browsing and whatnot. It's time to get a VPN. Again, go to piavpn.com/blametruth for 83% off and 4 months free. So this is going to be the first damning thing towards Black Ops 6, and as you guys know, all the Call of Duties will kind of be on the same engine going forward, which means that the same problems will likely carry over, and this looks to be one of them. So this person says, also, this doesn't excuse SHG's incompetence at all, but I heard the spawn system is built into the MW engine, which is what everything's using going forward. Like the squad spawn shit. That's a big reason why it's so hard to work with. SHG had a system they built up for years with Call of Duty World War II thrown out the window with the Switch. Makes me curious if we might see Treyarch run into issues too. Now here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. The spawn system in Modern Warfare 3 is horrendous, and it's also horrendous in Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. I don't see how you can change this thing if it's literally baked into the code. I truly don't think the spawn system will be any good in Black Ops 6. And I mean, I'm just going off the past 5 years. It's continually gotten worse. How this thing that's been around for 20 years and they've had 20 years to perfect is this bad, I have no idea. We are playing on Arena here in this XDefiant gameplay where I'm carrying these noobs. And, I mean, there's not really any bad spawns. This is the smallest, most chaotic, most fast-paced map in the game. Rarely will you run into a truly bad spawn. How have XDefiant managed to make a spawn system this much better than, I don't know, devs that have been doing this for 20 plus years at this point? I don't get it. I truly do not get it. But It gets worse, though. It gets worse. There's going to be a lot of Sledgehammer talk in these leaked DMs here that I'm going to be sharing because Sledgehammer, guys, I just want to say this again. Sledgehammer's done a fantastic job, and if any Sledgehammer dev is watching this, you guys have gone above and beyond, and I'm like the most critical Call of Duty person you'll ever see. You guys have killed it this year. You guys have killed it this year. In fact, I'm not going to show this in the DM because I don't think I can show this portion, but there were talks of Sledgehammer wanting to get skill-based matchmaking toned down with Modern Warfare 3. Of course, Activision said no. So yeah, don't even take that with a grain of salt. I truly believe that is a thing that they requested because Sledgehammer has shown they are for the players. And before you say like, Vanguard was the worst COD ever, I hate it. It's confirmed by this person DMing me here and someone else that, maybe talked to somebody I know through the grapevine from Sledgehammer Games. They confirmed that Vanguard was made in about 8 months. No shit. Call of Duty Vanguard was made in less than a year and released as a $70 premium title. It shows, doesn't it? With that said, they still managed to come out with something better than Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. 3 years, 3,000 devs for that one. So there's that. Let's get into the next thing that was shared with me. And this one kind of disgusts me, if I'm being honest, because this is something Sledgehammer wanted to do, but they were told no, because it's Treyarch's thing, even though Treyarch isn't doing it this year. And I covered this in a previous video. They are saving this. Like, they're holding back features so they can market it as something new a year down the line, even though it's just rehashed shit anyway. I'm fucking tired of it. I am tired of it. I'm so sick of it. Let's just get into the DM though. SHG almost made a Pick 10 system return before Treyarch. Fucking insane. And this person also says, oh, Sledgehammer's hated by IW devs. IW devs still mauled, which is why we have Modern Warfare 3 in the first place, and they fixed all these issues pertaining to Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, Sledgehammer Games wanted to do Pick 10 this particular year for Modern Warfare 3, and they were essentially told no. I can't reveal too many screenshots from the DM because a lot of the stuff talked about was pretty confidential and would get someone in trouble. But I will say this, we had a conversation nestled in there talking about how Sledgehammer Games is essentially treated as the modders. Like, they're just modders, essentially, for Activision Blizzard. They take Treyarch's ideas or Infinity Ward's ideas, lately it's been Infinity Ward's ideas, and they kind of just mod them, and that's about all the freedom they get. They don't get to make their own game. They don't get to make their own game. They've been wanting to make Advanced Warfare 2 for a while, and that's a rumor that that's going to be a thing finally in the coming years, but who knows? They don't get to do what they want to do creatively. Again, they wanted to tone down skill-based matchmaking. Straight from the source, guys. Sledgehammer Games wanted to, at the very least, tone it down for Modern Warfare 3. They were told no. Arguably, it's worse than it's ever been in Modern Warfare 3, which is saying something. I don't know what else to say other than thank you, Sledgehammer, for fighting for us, even though the community can be, very passionate, sometimes toxic. Hell, I've been known to be quite critical. It's hard to know what's going on behind the scenes, though. We don't know if it's you guys, the devs, making the decisions, the higher-ups at Activision. There's no real communication. There's no real... I don't know. There's no real, information out there as to who is responsible for what. We have to just kind of air our grievances to the first thing we see most of the time. And it sucks, and I hate it. And, if I knew you guys made Vanguard in 8 months, I would have been so much nicer. Truthfully, I had no idea. From what I saw, you had a full dev cycle to make it, and it still sucked, and it was still really, really underperforming. With that said, it wasn't the worst thing ever. Modern Warfare 2 was, like I said earlier. So there's that. Oh, God. Let's get into the final point here, the final bit of the DM, because this one is the worst of all. This is the worst offender, and this just kind of shows what I've been talking about with my bad feeling as it pertains to Treyarch. And I have another little tweet that's going to kind of back up this bad feeling and back up all of these issues. So, Treyarch are stealing SHG maps for BO6 post-launch. They stole Season 5 and 6 maps from Sledgehammer Games. and are repurposing them. Whether they publicize it, I don't know, but they likely won't. And I said, is that why we only got 2 maps this season? And this person says, Activision thinks it makes Treyarch and IW look bad when SHG is making so many maps. And they confirm, yes, that's why we're only getting 2 maps this season. Oh, and Season 6, it's only going to have 2 as well. They're literally stealing the geometry and just kind of retexturing the maps for Black Ops 6. This is not the Treyarch I know. This is not the Treyarch that made bangers like Black Ops 2. They didn't have to steal fucking maps from other studios. They made their own maps, and they made classic maps. That period of time from World at War to Black Ops 2 featured the best maps in Call of Duty history. I don't think you can argue it. I really don't. The best maps. What happened to that Treyarch? Why are you stealing maps from I'm sorry for saying this, from a third-rate studio? This was posted by Ralph's Valve about 2 years ago, and it's kind of stuck with me, and I used it in last video's thumbnail as well. But Ralph says this, he's a prominent leaker, reputable. Treyarch has since suffered a heavy loss of their original developers and creative staff due to burnout and several separate issues. This was 2022 when this was posted. The team seems to be going through an identity crisis internally. They aren't exactly experiencing development hell, rather role confusion. I am sorry, but with everything I have seen, this game, Black Ops 6, is going to be a fucking mess. When I saw something as simple as doors, which nobody except your boomer 65-year-old grandfather wants in Call of Duty, most people either don't care or they think they're a bad addition. The fact that Treyarch has them in is insanity. Talking with this person, they said they're most likely going to be on Nuketown. Doors on Nuketown. Just shoot me in the fucking face, fam. This Treyarch is not the same Treyarch that brought you past Call of Duty titles. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Speaking of bad news, my team were playing with Guitar Hero controllers or something. I don't know. But couldn't bring a win out. Even with 50 kills and nearly 3,000 objective score, could not secure the W. So what can I do? I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Here's some parting advice.